Am I streaming? I think I am. Yes, no, maybe. All right, cool. Gonna try to start streaming more. Thought about using Twitch and whatnot, but I think I'm just gonna stick with YouTube. It's just simple and it's really easy to set up. Yeah, so I'm going through Vulkan really slow. I wanted to try to bring models into Vulkan. I'm just stepping very slowly through what everything is doing here, if I can. I've just been stepping through this program mainly. It just creates a mesh and has a texture, and it has a UV map of where things go, and it has a little shader. Textures. Oh, here, let me go. I'll go here. Oh, that's the compiled. This is just a basic projection formula that I have for my vertex shader. And then my fragment shader for my UV coordinates. These are just the parts of the cube. And the cube I have just has, it's just 2 triangles per face. And the issue I have is I'm trying to load a mesh from Blender in, but I realize Blender, like even if I, for example, I don't know if I triangulate, I think that's the word. Oh, 3. What am I doing? If I triangulate each face like this, I noticed that even if I do that, like with my mesh in Vulkan right now, there's 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 times 12 vertices. So 36. But in Vulkan, there's only 8. And I think there's a few different reasons why Vulkan does this, but I'm not entirely sure. It's probably, I mean, it kind of makes sense. See if I go to where? Right here. It only has 8 vertices. And when I'm just using triangle topology. Where is my command buffer? Well, I can just do this. Oh, that's just the vertex. This is just the vertex buffer, but trying to find where it shows the topology. I mean, it should just say, it should have a topology. No, right there, right in front of me. Yeah, so I'm just using the triangle topology, which I think, if I remember correctly, it's like every 3rd vertex. I'm gonna have to look it up again because I already forgot. See if I can just look up topology. Topologies. And then look up the type. I'm using triangle list. Separate triangle primitives. But how does it create the... I'm pretty sure it's like you have one... Every third vertex it just creates a triangle, but I just want to make sure that that's actually what it is. Triangle list. When the... Yeah. According to it. Yeah, okay. And then the direction, if it's... Oh, I do remember this. Like, depending on whether it's... Which direction, if it's going 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2... And if it's going clockwise or counterclockwise, I think that determines whether it's a front or back face. Something... I thought... I could have swore it was something like that. Let's see. I will go back into... I'm deleting this. I'm not going to explain that. Here we go. Just... Yeah, okay. I'm going to look back at it. Whoa, whoops. Yeah, okay, that is a primitive is a primitive just is that just like a face? What is a primitive? Well, oh, what is a primitive? Whatever. Oh, that's all it is. Points, lines, and triangles. Just fundamental shapes. All right. I'll write this down too to my tons of documentation that I already have. Tivs. I probably spelled it wrong. Tivs. Adoc. I'll just primitives. And I want to read. I do want to read a graphics programming book, but I could have just learned OpenGL, to be honest. I don't know, I just didn't. Well, I kind of did, and then I was like, I'm just going to learn Vulkan. Probably a bad choice. I know people say not to do that, but I'll just maybe make a file called mesh. I don't know what to call it. I'm running out of names for all these files. primitives. I'll just make this as a definition. Basic geometric shapes or objects such as points, lines, and polygons that can be combined to create more complex images or models. I think it's just, I didn't realize that was the term of that though. Yeah, this is all, I mean, I know what these things are, I just didn't know what they were called primitives. I didn't know a curve was defined like that though. Okay, all right. This is one thing I guess I didn't know. Curves. Okay. I'll do it like this. Something else I didn't know. All right. Cool. Well, I was looking up, I was in the Vulkan documentation the other day. I wrote this down on my calendar, what exactly I was doing. I've been working on putting together blender meshes into Vulkan. I noticed that the cube, it doesn't count vertices that are at the same point in some situations. My blender mesh is 8 vertices, while Vulkan has 32. Here it is. Okay, well, the problem is if I can't really copy this, but I can forgot where did I put it? There's so much crap. Images, meshes, not MIP level. Wish I could. I can go to it, but it's gonna get stuck in here. Whatever. It's because I didn't. It's all right. This is how I'll have to do it. Little strange, but whatever. So I think this might fix the issue, and I know that. So another thing, if I'm trying to bring a mesh from Blender into if I'm trying to bring a mesh from Blender into frickin' Vulkan, the problem is too, like, the X, Y, and Z coordinates are different, and Vulkan uses what, NDC? I looked this up the other day. I'm going to go I actually, let's get out of this because I was trying, I made a whole new folder for this Blender to Vulkan. No jobs. So here's my link about the index buffers, but NDC. So, okay, by default, Vulkan uses NDC. X left, right, Y forward, back, Z up, down. And then, no, this is Blender. This is what Blender uses. But Vulkan uses NDC. Left is negative. So it's a little different. So I'm going to have to, one, figure out how to convert all the quads into triangles, and then two, convert from Blender system to NDC in some way. So that's two things I'm gonna have to do. Yeah. But I'm gonna just write down more stuff about the index buffer. More complex. Meshes. Where vertices are reused in an average number of 3 triangles. Yeah. So essentially see the verb, okay. Yep, those are the bottom left triangle. Okay. So this is just left corner is red, the top right is green, the bottom right is blue, and the bottom left is white. Okay, we'll add a new array indices to represent context of the index buffer. So we're just going to make, what, 2 triangles in this? Is that what it's saying? 0, 1, 2, okay. 2, so it's like, I don't really need to draw this out, but I think I already get what it's saying, but I'll draw it out anyways, just so I can make sure. It's like, It seems like pretty simple. It's saying, why is the pencil not working? Am I on the wrong tool? Oh, select. There we go. So we have our vertices. Very easy. This is, I mean, in Vulkan it's going to be different, but I'm going to make it because of how it counts vertices. But this is negative 0.5, negative 0.5. This is 0.5, negative 0.5, 0.5. Okay, and then from vertices 0, 1, 2, let's just do 2, 3, 0. So we're just making two triangles, I think, because negative 0.5, negative 0.5. This is where I wish I had like a tablet or something so I can draw. You know, I can just draw on this piece of paper. I don't need to be doing this. I was only doing it because I'm streaming. Negative point. I think I get what's happening, but I might as well draw it out. We got 0.5, 0.5. We got negative 0.5 and 0.5. So then we draw, let's call this, so this one's 0. This one's 1. This one is 2. This one's 3. So if we draw a line from 0, 1, 2, and from 2, 2, then from 2, 3, 0. We're just going all the way around. That's all we're doing, okay? I just need to map that out to see what was happening. Isn't it weird that I can do that? Probably because of some... There we go. It is possible to use either uint for your index buffers depending on the entries and vertices. Just like the vertex data, the indices need to be uploaded to VK buffer. Vertex buffer memory. Okay. I want to see what I did though. I'm gonna real quick do this so I can see both. Whoa, not what I want. Go back down here. I'm gonna bring the documentation over here so that I can look at it. Because I forget a lot of the times what the frick, what was what. VK device size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Wait, where's the index buffer? So let's do this. I'm going to copy this here. And then I'm just going to define parts of it so I can look at it better. Let's see. Create vertex buffer. Let's look at. That's just okay. That's not a Vulkan function. They're just creating the vertex buffer. Create index buffer. At least I don't think it is. I wouldn't think so. No, it's just pseudocode. Or, well, you know, create index buffer. Oh, that's the same thing. Should have known that. VK device size. Go back to here. Physical device limits is defined as okay. Oh, okay, so we're looking at this. This just tells me our properties of the physical device. These are available in limits members of the structure of its return. The largest dimension width that is guaranteed to be supported by images created by image type. Okay. Max image dimension 2D is the largest dimension width or height that is guaranteed to support. So what are we looking at here? Device size. It's just the number. Is there indices? I'll just copy this and put it here so I can see that. So we got the size of one indice, which is just like an int, or what is it, uint16, so it's just 16 bits times the how many indices there are. So we're just getting, okay, yeah, buffer size, I got it. down completely and continuously to a single VK. Alright. I just want to see. Okay, I'm looking in the wrong thing. I think it's just an area. Let's look at it. I think I ever used a VK buffer. Oh, I did. Oh, that was just for my vertex. Oh. Okay. I want to get rid of this. I don't remember using that either. It was only used for the texture. I'm just going to read through this again, this part. Sharing mode exclusive. Did that have to do with the queuing? I don't remember what sharing mode is. I don't think it did. I know there was an exclusive for queues, so instead of using multiple queues, you could use exclusively just one, but yeah, okay, I was right. It did have to do with queues. Yeah, it's just saying only one can access it at a time. Create buffer, device, the buffer info. Oh, there's the vertex buffer, so we're allocating. The worst part about learning all this is that you forget it after you learn it. That's the really sucky part, because I'm like, I know I've learned some of this already, but then I'll like, a few days go by and I'm like, I already forget what this was. I don't remember. I don't remember anymore. Vertex. Yeah, if we're just allocating the buffer, what is the null? Is that just, we're not using it, but okay. Buffer memory requirements. Is this? Is it pointer to? Let's see what this memory requirements is. Is this for? In bit mask and contains 1 bit for every supported memory type for the resource. But I don't remember, but for memory requirements, are we just, is this, okay, is this because the memory requirements for us sending it to the GPU? I believe that's what this is, I think. VK, yeah, I think that's what we're doing here. I'm going to copy and paste this. Pretty sure. Oh, okay, yeah. When you create a VK buffer, you only create a virtual handle that has no actual memory attached to it. Before you can send it, you have to allocate slab over RAM. I've written some of this stuff down already before. It sucks that I already forgot it. I feel like that's like the curse of learning something that's new and has a lot to it, is you just keep forgetting things. I could have swore I wrote it down. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, what is it called? Grep. A grep. There we go. I did mention it in find memory type. Okay, so where was that at? Oh, AI dump. Find memory type. See. Okay. It finds which. I feel like part of it is like I'm nervous that I'm live streaming and it's like harder to learn because I'm like, there's people looking at me potentially. Maybe no one's watching, but the thought of it is making it hard to think right now. But I feel like in a way I kind of have to, because I don't want to feel like I'm a fraud. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Find memory type. What this function does. I'm not doing that. I'm doing VK buffer. But it finds which GPU memory type index you should use when allocating memory for a buffer or image. Okay. An index. So what properties you want, pick. Here we go. Here's our device memory properties. Okay, I think I'm starting to remember a little bit. Oh, okay, it's a bit mask saying I set that memory can be used for this resource. Okay. Okay. Memory type count, memory properties, memory type count. I don't. Man, I forget what the coherent bit and the visible bit. Man, I already forget that. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna look. I have so many. Just see if bit physical device memory properties. I'm just gonna read this. Yeah. feel like I'm gonna look at something else because I know I wrote VK get oh, hang on. There we go. Create texture image. I bet it's probably in that file. I would bet you create texture image. Oh wait, but I'm not, I want to learn about the vertex image because I'm not, that's not really what I'm looking for. It's probably still fine. I think I just looked at this. I don't remember because okay, the coherent and let me look this up. I wish I remembered. I think it might be in resource memory allocation, maybe? I feel like it might be there. Oh, I think I was already reading this though. Get physical device. Which one am I using? Get physical device memory properties. Get. I'm using this one. So I'm using the one that looks like it's deprecated. I'm gonna look up this coherent bit. I wish it would just specifies the host cache manage commands. Honestly, I think I did. because I did. Maybe it was in memory mapping, create texture image. Either in memory mapping or create texture image, and I referenced it. Here we go. Okay. I think I'm starting to get to what. There we go. The CPU is allowed to directly access this memory. That's what I wanted to know. Okay. Specifies that the cache management command vk flush mat memory ranges and vk and valid mat memory are not needed to manage availability and visibility. I don't know if I spelled on the host. Okay. In short terms, the CPU is allowed to directly access this memory. And I remember, okay, so if I remember this correctly, there's a way you can do it where you can have, so when you can send the data to the GPU and then you can't read the data. But then there's a way where you can read the data or something like that. I'm looking this over like again. Memory lives in different places. Some memory, yep. I need to look at this more. This is in my texture. No, I wrote all this down. There we go. Okay. Create texture, image. Memory, host, visible buffer, GPU, copy, device, shader sampling. Okay. So this is just for the texture. I'll just read this. This is the pink and white for the texture that the UV map uses. VK device, size, Okay. That's the side. This creates an object that holds size bytes. Can be used as a transfer source. Create a buffer. The driver will tell you required memory size, required alignment, which memory types are allowed. Okay, I think. Oh, okay. So with this, I don't have to. Okay, if I had this, I don't have to manually do the flush it or whatever. All right. Assigns a physical region of GPU access memory. So allocate memory. So now that here we say, hey, C is just a handle that represents a chunk. The memory exists, but nothing is stored in any of the GPUs. So we want this memory. We're telling the device we want this memory, and then we're binding it. So we're assigns a physical region of the GPU accessible memory. Then we get a pointer to that memory. The CPU gets a pointer. So I don't think there's the data. Where's the I'm looking for this. Oh, it's right. All right. So we have a pointer for the GPU data, VQM. And we're copying our data to that. We're unmapping it. This is our image, type of image, extent of our texture. Oh, whoops. Bind and allocate the texture memory the GPU can access it efficiently. All right. Sucks. Hang on, I'm just going to turn myself down. I'm starting to get it more, but I'm just going to do this. Because I could have swore I went through this. I know I went through this before. I don't know if it was... Maybe? This is... Okay, I'm talking about the command buffer here. Additional correctness. I sent a whole code of... That's huge. I think I was trying to get it to... Right, I think it was this. Maybe. I'm going to search for... What was it? Something that mentioned VK get buffer memory. don't see it here. That sucks. Eventually I will get through it and remember. Reserving a chunk of memory from the GPU or a heap. I don't think I didn't use that there. Let's see. I really just want to figure out my texture, or vertex buffer, but vertex buffer memory. I'm just gonna ask real quick. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that's what I kind of already read. I'm gonna look up memory properties in it because I think I remember memory properties. I'm gonna look up that struct. What was this type of data? It's a memory record. Yeah. Gosh dang it! I hate when it jumps like that. I just want to get the struct. I just want a definition of the struct. I want to know what the byte tips are. Byte tips, type bits are. Gosh dang it. Annoying. I just want to see the struct. I want to finally, is a bitmask that contains 1 bit for every supported memory type for the resource. So what are we specifically looking for? Honestly, I don't know if I can stream and learn because I feel like it's actually limiting me learning. So I think I'm going to stop streaming because I think it's actually stopping me because I'm like, my nerves are so high, like I can't learn. Um, so I'm sorry you don't get to see what I'm learning because I'm just making backwards progress right now. And it kind of sucks. So that's just what I kind of learned right now is I can't stream and learn. Sorry. uh, if I learn more about this, maybe I'll make a video about it, I guess, maybe. But, and I can stream other things maybe, but I can't learn and stream apparently because I don't know. I think my nerves are too high right now. It's making it hard for me to remember anything or do anything right now. So I'm just going to stop.